Good morning and welcome to AMHQ Weekend. It's Sunday, June the 28th, the last Sunday of the month of June. I can't believe that's already here.
I can't believe the month's gone. What happened? Where'd June go?
It flew by, and Reynolds Wolf, he flew on out of here. Mark Elliott flew on in for us this weekend. We're happy to have him in. We also have Kait Parker. He's in for Greg Postel, Dr. Postel, and we're going to be talking to him in just a minute. Morning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more of the same, right? Slow-moving area of low pressure, tropical moisture surging into it, and that means more rain for you. Where it's been raining, it's going to continue to do so.
And then day after day of severe weather. It feels like we're telling you every day in the Midwest to be on alert, but once again today, right across I-70, we have the risk of some pretty strong storms.
And it's a different type of severe weather in the Pacific Northwest, where once again, dangerous, record-breaking heat up to 35 degrees above average, and this sticks around through the week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's go to Boston.
All right, let's do it.
Take a look at this. This slow-moving, light to moderate rainfall, but it's just relentless. You know, we do have a couple pockets of some heavier rain north of Berlin. You're seeing some of it actually moving into Berlin soon. You'll be seeing some of that heavier rainfall. This is traveling over a lot of major interstates, major thoroughfares. 87, and you're going to see ponding potentially on the roadways there. You're also going to see 91, possibly going to see some ponding on that. Take a look at all this rain. You can tell that it's moving across Syracuse and then continues on north. It is not stopping anytime soon. It's going to be a kind of all-day event, especially for northern New England. So that's why we do have those flood watches in place. This flood concern here going to be more of a ponding on roads. And if you know that you have that one spot in your neighborhood where it's low-lying, and if it rains, it typically fills up with water, that's the kind of flooding we're talking about. Not as much of a flash flooding threat. However, we know your rivers are incredibly full, especially here in upstate New York, and that's where we do have some of this more moderate to heavy rainfall. So keep in mind that some of the rivers and streams that are already a little bit up to their banks could overtop just a bit. But we're not looking for major flooding with this, but there is that flood watch still. Look at the winds. This is a major thing too. We've got this coastal low that's hanging out here. This bringing the winds out of the east. You'll notice that gusts in New York City up to 17 miles an hour right now, not to mention it's so chilly out there, and then you got the rain on top of it. Kind of a miserable day in Boston where you're gusting to 32, 25 mile an hour sustained winds. In Nantucket, you've got 33 mile an hour winds. So you'll notice wind advisory rightfully intact right now. That's in place. We've also got this stronger low that's hanging out over the lakes, and that's going to cause some problems for really big winds and just absolutely no boating today. That's just not going to be an option for you. The winds and the lakes looking really rough. You'll notice the rain does eventually push north by Monday. I think we're going to clear it quite a bit, Mark.
Yeah.
It's a really potent low, you know. It's really strong for this time of year. Mark, it doesn't always happen like this, but it's producing a lot of rainfall as well. Like Mark was saying, that tropical air mass being sucked north, and it's being squeegeed out by that potent low like we were talking about. We've actually got two of them. The stronger one over the Great Lakes, but that flood watch includes much of upstate New York, stretching across Vermont. And then you'll notice this as well. Eastern Mass and Providence, all of Rhode Island, you're under that flood watch. This is why, look at this soaking rainfall. It's not necessarily these very heavy, fast downpours, so it's not really a flash flood threat. It's more the slow, steady, and all of this rain going to trickle down into a couple of the rivers. So upstate New York, you know that your rivers and your creeks are full. You may see that overtake the banks just a little bit, but our primary threat for flooding here going to be more ponding on the road. So in Worcester over to Boston, you've got some heavier rain moving right around 495 right now, so you are going to see some issues there, ponding on the roads and some blinding downpours at times. Then these winds are insane. So this low that's tracking right along the coast, that's going to be our component that's really helping out the winds along the coast, but then the winds along the Great Lakes being helped out by this very strong low that's moving across Buffalo later today. Look at the rain though. What happens is it gets squeegeed a little farther to the north. We see it eventually taper off. This is good news for the start of your work week. Temperatures have been very chilly. They're going to be chilly today, but in some individual cells today, we could see some damaging winds in the Midwest. Once again, this goes right across I-70, Columbia, Missouri, my old stomping grounds, into St. Louis, up through Davenport, Iowa. That's where you're going to see the potential for some of these stronger storms. The moisture potential not quite as high. We kind of closed that door off to the Gulf that's been just open to the Midwest for so long, that streaming of moisture. We just have enough of it and enough upper level support with this upper level jet that we could see some of these thunderstorms become a little stronger. So this morning you do have some rain, you do have some thunder. You are being woken up on a Sunday by that. This is what it looks like timing it out kind of on our future radar here. It doesn't always play out exactly like this, but you'll notice some of these cells. See how they become a little more individual, especially here in northern Missouri and crossing over into Illinois around dinner time tonight. those could produce large hail. They could have some rotation within them, so it's not out of the question that we could see a tornado. There's a Torcon of 3 today. Damaging winds a possibility here, and some heavy downpours that could really cause some problems. Not to mention, look at this. We've got thunderstorms in Arizona today. You saw the haboob yesterday. We could see one of those when we get these thunderstorms, they kind of just hit the ground and cause that dirt to spin up. So we could see more of that today. A dust storm. We'll be keeping an eye on that. This is what your forecast looks like. A little bit of rain actually even moving into Southern California. There's some good news for you. We'll be